Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Here we have India's answer to Donald Trump's threat and action against India, which is the tariffs, 25% tariffs on India. Because why? Because India is engaged in a lawful act of doing business with another country. India does not break any international law by doing business, as we like capitalism, with another country. So Trump claims, and his advisor, whom I like, Mr. Stephen Miller, that actually India is prolonging the war, is sponsoring the war by purchasing Russia's oil, forgetting Mr. Miller that United States of America is the biggest financier of the war, not India. So Mr. Miller is a hypocrite here. And not only a hypocrite, he doesn't want to solve the problem. Or if he wants to solve the problem, he wants to solve it in his own, on his own terms. Well, this is India's answer. I will show it to you. 3 articles on that, including why are US-India relations strained? They ask, and then they give the answer. But the answer is a weasel answer because they don't want to give us the real answer, because the real answer will incriminate the guys who wants to solve the problem. And the second one, I will bring this article and fact in support of what I say. Who causes these issues? Let's go to the root cause. And that is United States of America tries to, how is the word, uncouple? Is that what it is? Uncouple. Unite the Xi-Putin alliance. And they say, how can we destroy this alliance? I would start with this. Why is this alliance in place? You have to go to the root cause. It is your actions, your attitude towards everybody else that made these guys unite. And you might to ununite them. How? Threatening? That's exactly how these guys try to solve the problem, with threats. They will not solve it. That's why India's answer is, we will continue to buy Russian oil. Why? With threats? Do you think we're going to be friends with you? You're going to invite me to the White House and wind me down a little bit or something? Is that how it works? In these guys' show business garbage, they think that's the way it works. And the population is okay with that. Too many Hollywood movies. So let's start with the first article. From Time, August 4th, 2025. US-India relations strain over Russian oil. No. It's not, because this is an example of something bigger, which is an attitude. This is just an example. Is the way these guys are talking to the Indians. You do what I tell you. This is why they are strained. Not because of this. This is a particular case on the attitude. Because right now, if the Indians don't buy Russian oil, tomorrow the Americans will come with the same attitude and say, now we want your country. Now we want you to do this. And if you don't, again, they're strained. It's the attitude that has the relationship strained, not that these guys are buying it. It's your attitude that you should not, because I don't like it, buy the other guys' oil. That's all. It's your attitude. And then India is doing what? Either caves in, as most European countries, or they jump on the other boat, which is Xi-Putin boat, that we try to unite. Why? Because they saw the attitude and they said, this guy is a tyrant. We have to defend ourselves. That's a normal human reaction to adversity. If you're strong. If you're weak, you join the European Union and NATO, basically. So let's see how these guys look at it. And it's a Indian name here, Miranda Right Jayartanyam. I would just say it. I'm just saying. So here it is. President Donald Trump seems unafraid to burn India. A longtime friend, now that's an imbecilic statement, of the United States over its Russian oil purchases. Now listen to this. So this person in the first sentence claims that India is a longtime friend of US. Is it true? Is it true? So let's look at it. Do you remember Pakistan and India getting at it? Remember? At war. Do you remember India was a democracy? Like We are. But Pakistan was a military dictatorship. Do you remember that one? Guess whose side US took? Was on, together with the Europeans, on the capitalist democratic India or the military dictatorship? You guess. So that's what happened. The Soviet Union was on India's side then. The Soviet Union, the tyrants, they were tyrants right there. Soviet Union, communist, bad. All right? The Americans, fantastic. And they picked the Pakistanis. So from the get-go, this person, Miranda, I don't think she either knows or she just thinks that we don't know. And then we have Steve Miller here saying that he wants a tremendous relationship on our terms. That is, he meaning Trump. And he had always a tremendous relationship with India and the Prime Minister. But Prime Minister does not follow orders. Therefore, he's going to be my bitch. White House Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller said on Fox News over the weekend. But we need to get real about dealing with the financing of this war. Are you crazy? Stephen, you'd say that India buying Russian oil, not providing military aid or imposing sanctions on anybody or having advisors or military in Russia to fight you, NATO, do you think that's the financing of the war? If that qualifies, if that buying the purchasing the oil qualifies as financing the war, you giving hundreds of billions of dollars, pretty soon it's going to be hundreds of billions of dollars in military aid, support, satellites, intelligence, generals, plans, that's not financing the war. Your weapons are used by the Ukrainians to kill the Russians. And you tell me those guys are financing the war? I mean, Stephen, I know you're very smart and you're a weasel on this one. Why? You have your interest. That's all. Let's go to the second article. Top aide, this is top Trump aide, accuses India of financing Russia's war in Ukraine. So the same guy, my friend Miller, says that what he wants, the most influential aide. This is what it is. People will be shocked to learn, Stephen says, that India is basically tied with China in purchasing Russian oil. That's an astonishing fact, Miller said. Yes, but how much do you finance Ukraine? That's your war. That's a problem. India is not India's war. No. But in Ukraine is America's war. You understand? America's interest. When I say American interest, it's not you and I, if we are US citizens. Not you and I. Not even the guys in charge of us is interest. Their interest is to be in power. The guys in charge of them. That's the interest. Okay? Not the America. They use the American power. They use NATO in order to promote and take over, control the rest of the world. That's what it is. So Steve must know that, because I know he's a smart guy. I like the guy, but in this one, it's an astonishing fact. Oh, it's an astonishing fact for buying Russian oil. Is it illegal? Just because you don't like it, it doesn't make it illegal. Stephen, you know that. Any United Nations orders? And let's talk about Israel, Stephen. Should we? Who finances Israel in Gaza? I'm listening intensely. That country hits Syria, Lebanon, Gaza, West Bank. They hit wherever they want. Iran, wherever they want. Who finances that? Oh, in self-defense, you say? Okay, go and play at another table. I don't buy it. So let's see what is India's answer. UPI. India responds to US penalty over Russian oil. All right. Indian officials confirmed Saturday the country is not altering policy and will continue buying oil from Russia, despite threats of financial penalty from US President Donald Trump. Indian government has not given any directive to the country's oil refineries to stop or reduce the amount of Russian crude oil, the New York Times reported, citing two senior Indian officials. You got it? So India says, we have a choice. Become a vassal state to you and be patted on our heads and given a little bit of sugar from time to time when we follow orders, therefore creating a Pavlovian conditioning, or be ourselves. Try to be independent with the threat that you guys are going to hurt us because you're the good people. And India said, you know what? I think the train left the station a long time ago. And because of this kind of behavior, We choose the other side and not you. And these guys are talking about decoupling or decoupling, unite. How Trump could unite the Xi-Putin alliance. And they say we should invite Xi to the White House like we invited Modi to White House. We thought that this bullshit business, show business, would work on other cultures. It doesn't. And I will always, now if you heard me say this before, you will hear me again. This is the US's diplomacy and way of acting. And I go to Rocky 3 or Rocky 4, whatever it is, with Dolph Lundgren, the Soviet fighter. Remember? When he comes to fight Stallone, okay? He wants to fight Stallone in America. Do you remember my favorite James Brown? With all the lights and all the dancing, all the ladies dancing over there, showing their pussies and all, living in America. Everybody, yeah, man, we're optimistic, but we don't know why. We're happy that we don't know why. Why? Because these guys keep you drugged up with all this. Oh, that's light. Oh, that's smoke. Oh, that's music. Oh, that's a pussy. That's what it is. And this guy all excited. And Drago is, what the fuck is wrong with these guys? And I will break you. That's what happens. And when they go to Soviet Union, they're all like they are now opposite. We are the good, they are the evil. That's true, but exaggeration. So that's why when I'm talking about these Americans, they're like, oh, I live in America, show business. Yeah, I like you, you like me, let's go. Where are we going again? That's unimportant, man. It's the wrapping that is more important than the content. All right, so how is it going to decouple? My question is this: decouple, deunite. Why are they in an alliance? And they try to make you think that because they're bad. Their cultures are bad, probably. They're bad, that's why. I don't think so. I think that is a consequence, direct consequence of your way of doing business with, for instance, as an example, India. You do what I tell you? No, I will hurt you. But my question is, who are you? Why are you acting like that? Well, because I have interest. Oh, you have interest? I don't give a fuck about your interest. So when you have this kind of friend who says, you are my boy, then you're my boy doing what I tell you. And when you just step left or right a little bit, okay, 1 degree left or right, oh my God, I will hurt you. In order to do this, you have to at least admit that you're somehow in charge of me. You are my parent, you have authority. Let me remind you, my friends, the United States of America is only or just another country. That's all what it is. In the global scheme, it's just another country. The problem is that this country thinks is much more than just another country, is the country. And other countries disagree with that and they oppose it. So try to unite something that you were the cause of their union. And you think how? We're going to hurt them for buying Russian oil? They're financing the war? How about you? Do you think the people don't see that? All right, so China, as of now, says, fuck off, the train left the station, or whatever, the boat sailed away a long time ago. BRICS is there, and Russia, India, China military alliance is there. So what are we going to do? I'm not celebrating that, but I think this guy, if he's going to have it his way, or her way, let's say America is a woman, okay? If her way, why? For psychological purposes. When this guy, she has it her way, what do you think she is going to do next? Do you think that this behavior is just with these bad two people? She designated them as bad people. I don't think their actions are as she designated them. What happens when she turns around to you and designates you as a bad person? She's going to do the same thing to you, already has been doing it for years, considering you are just a baboon over there. And the same as these guys. Why? It's the attitude. If you have one attitude, you will use the same attitude in same circumstances. You remember, if all you have in your toolbox is a hammer, you will see nails everywhere. Like, for instance, people with racism and all that. I wear this with white thing, I must be a white that. Why? Because in my head, I have only that. Why don't I have any black stuff on me? Because I hate that. Actually, black and white are my favorite colors. Oh, they're not colors. Forget about it. I'm just saying. So if you have that mentality, everywhere you're going to see it. Oh, Emil is driving a white car. Why is he driving a white car? Oh, because he's a white supremacist. Oh, if I would drive a black car, he likes to oppress black. He makes him feel good about himself. You know, how do you call it? Controlling a black car instead of white car. You see how you can turn it based on your fucking attitude, mentality, worldview. The same with Americans. They do it with everybody else and they expect a different outcome? No, the outcome is, oh, if I can, I break away and I'm not going to be your vassal. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.